last we left off, Ivo, you had just moseyed on up uh, to the security personnel, standing at a velvet rope to the VIP area. They hold up a clipboard in front of them. They look at you. They look back. They look at you. They look back. What's your name?
You can call me Ivo, and I'm here to talk to the king.
Ivo Grayson?
No.
Ivo Patterson.
Sure, why not?
Huh? His name's on the list. Yeah, but he's just saying that. No, no. Spell Ivo.
I-V-O. Ivo.
That's it. It's a three-letter name. Yeah, he spelled it. Why would he make that up? I don't think he's making. I just don't think that's him. You got any photo ID?
Does anyone?
He's got a point. Yeah. Well, shit. Okay. I'll tell you what. If you let him through, on your head is the consequences. Yeah. Yes. Yes. No worries. All right. I'm washing my hands of this. You should wash your hands.
You should
You
wash
can
your
go on
hands.
through to see the king.
All right, thanks, mate.
You get on in there.
And if they, you know what, can't believe they're doing this. Do they treat you like that all the time?
Uh, Look, I'm not gonna badmouth my mates.
Heard.
Yeah.
At some point,
Yeah.
I got a guy I think you should meet. I say guy. Robert.
Oh,
But I think
okay.
I think that he'd like to meet you. And I think he has some good literature for you that you'll really find helpful about workplace conditions. Anyway,
Oh, okay. I'll keep an eye out for him, Mr. Patterson. Thank you. Go on through.
alrighty, thank you. Good luck.
As you wander up the stairs, uh, the king of clubs sits on a very pretentious throne made of plastic. Uh, he holds in his hand an oversized scepter, which was probably a prop for something at some point, but it seems as though he has wrapped barbed wire around it so that it is actually a smacking implement, and he kind of sits like this with the scepter on the ground and he's holding the top of it. Pretentiously, you saw him take this pose as you approach, so you know that it's a ruse. If you could introduce our guest here. Yes, introducing Ivo Patterson. Ah, Mr. Patterson, the author. I've been waiting to meet you.
Indeed,
Come on in. Have a
gladly.
seat.
I will sit down.
You know, I bet you're real excited about writing my autobiography. Tell
Yeah.
me,
Uh,
what are you going to do to capture my greatest features?
well, where to start? Your greatest features, I think, are really represented here in Megablock 4. It takes someone very particular to be able to maintain a space like this, maintain, say, control or respect of the people that live and work in the infamous Megablock 4. So the first thing I want to do is get to know the block, get to know the people who look up to you up here in the clubs on this magnificent uh, chair throne.
Yes. Well, no doubt you'll have noticed, being on the highest chair, at the highest point of the club, on the highest floor, you'll find everyone looks up to me. They have no
Yes,
choice. It
yes.
goes them, the next floor above them, the club, me, the sunlight.
What about the
So,
roof?
we leave that open most days.
Ah, yes, that makes sense.
Helps with the
Not
smell.
much for metaphor, are we?
For who?
Understood. The other side of that, of course, is challengers. And what is a measure, how to take the measure of a man except by those who would seek to dethrone him, and how he triumphs over them.
I would like you to roll discourse for me.
Sure.
Purely because I can tell where you're wanting to go with this. I'm just gonna get a sense for if he can.
Mhm.
The answer's probably not, but we'll see.
That is an eight.
Hmm. Well, it's funny you bring that up. Just in time, too, because we had some challenges recently, actually. So,
Really?
coincidental
Crikey.
timing, I tell you. But we dealt with them, in the way that a good king should. Like the kings of old.
Beheading.
Charlemagne. No, 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 no. No, no, no. That's much too medieval. No, I'm talking about the more recent kings, Charlemagne, Agamemnon.
You threw them
Uh,
into a volcano.
no, no, no. We shot them in the heart with a revolver.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes. I remember reading about when Charlemagne did that.
A man who can read. That's a
I
rare
mean,
thing here.
it's necessary for an author, though.
Huh. I'd never considered that.
And who were these fools that would seek to challenge someone like you?
Well, that's the strange part. We don't know. We thought they were just some people from the lower floors, rising up. That happens
Sure,
once or
sure, sure.
twice a week. That's nothing. But the DNA didn't open any doors. They didn't have any
Oh,
apartments. And what's worse, they had brand new guns.
brand new?
Brand new guns. Yeah. Brand spanking new. Old style guns. Don't get me wrong, but brand new. And it just reeks of the security, trying to get in here and start something. I
Oh,
think it was a false flag.
oh, those bastards. They
Mm.
got so many flags and none of them are right.
Yep. Nah, all false.
Yep, all false.
Yeah, actually, hey, oi, you got one of them? Yeah, yeah, look at this.
Good flag.
Yes. He shows you the oldest style revolver you've ever seen,
Oh.
but it is brand new in condition. It is a black powder revolver.
Huh. That's so weird.
I
Were
know.
they like,
Not even
I
armor
mean,
piercing.
no. Were
No
they,
incendiary rounds.
were they like dressed weird? Who are these people? What else do we know about them?
Not for nothing, but it's a little weird to ask if they were dressed weird. I don't know if you've seen the clientele of this club.
I know, but this is the oldest thing I've ever seen, but brand new. Is that would like the rest
Hmm.
of them like that too?
Sort of. Now that you mention it, they were all wearing spurs,
Huh.
which is weird because I don't think I've ever seen a horse here.
No, 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 no. I mean, I've seen some people wearing Spurs in some of the clubs in Megablock too, but I don't think that's what's happening here.
Ugh. I didn't get me started on Megablock 2.
I
Or 1.
know.
Or
Oh.
4.
Four. Nah.
Unbelievable. Anyway, before we start with the autobiography process fully, why don't we get a drink? Eh?
Sure. Let's do it.
And he clasps you on the shoulder, and in a flash of light, we cut back over to the saloon crew, dusting yourselves off, the ballast falling from your sleeves and your pant legs, and you mosey on up to the front of the saloon. Inside, you don't hear the music or the chatter that you normally would, um, but there is one good thing left here at the very least. Those doors are sitting there, ready for someone to swing them open. Who does so?
Definitely me.
The wind blows in and you feel it. And all of you do. All of you really feel it. This feels right. It was nice. You can almost hear the strumming of a nicely tuned guitar at the same time as you do so. But oh, no, actually, that's not a nicely tuned guitar. That's the sound of the wind brushing across the poorly tuned strings of a piano. You look up and you see in this saloon, it's a rotting building filled with half-finished memories. Interrupted card games sit on the tables. A skeletal pianist slouched over busted keys, and a long past bartender with a rag in one hand and a glass in another lies on the bar. Each body shares one thing in common: blood coming from their ears. You look around, and there are a surprising number of bodies, actually. You'd think they all would have got up and ran, but it doesn't seem like they did. They're all sitting about where they would have been at the time of their death, if it was instant. What would you like to look at first?
I think I want to. Yeah, Lita would hobble on over and start investigating the barkeep, trying to figure out how long, right? How long this person's been here, what happened. Maybe if there's anything usable, a little bit of bleed from her cyberpunk reality. Uh, you know, if we're dealing with any usable spare parts, but also, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say medicine. That's a pretty solid
It
realm of
started off
medicine for that
normal,
one.
and then it got weird, and then I tried to pull it back. No, it's just weird. We're just
It's all
leaning
right.
in. We're leaning into the weird. Okay, that is an 8 in medicine.
Okay. So the question was how long and any spare parts.
Yeah, I'd love to ask if I could do how long as medicine, but then maybe could it be like, is it preparation? Like knowing what I can take, what I can, what will be useful for future steps, like that kind of.
All right. We'll resolve the medicine and then
I
we'll
mean,
think on the prep
I
for
have
the
a
spare
plus one
parts.
to both. I have no idea why I'm arguing this. I think it's just my habit.
So for the medicine check, at the very least, this body is much more recent than you'd expect. The pianist is skeletal at this point, so that's a couple of years. All right.
Okay.
The bartender's mostly there, so this is a newer bartender, as if people came to the bar, used it for a time, and then were killed. You'd say no more than a month, really. Importantly, the bleed from the ear too. It seems something seems off about it. You've heard the tale of the Banshees and the bleeding from the ears. That seems to, but this doesn't. You can't put your finger on it. Everyone, we'll ask everyone else what they're doing, and then we'll see about preparation for extra parts.
So everyone is very clearly dead, right?
Yeah, I'm willing to say
Go around and
maybe
just
if you
poke
roll
some
intuition
bodies.
for that.
Okay, that's a 7.
Everyone is very clearly dead.
Then I would
And
immediately.
as you turn your head, sorry, everyone is very clearly dead, but as you turn your head and you're like, yep, dead, 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 and you catch the eyes of an old fella sitting at a card table, staring back at you, and you think, dead. Dead?
Old.
Then he blinks, and you nearly shit yourself. That guy's alive, but any worse of a roll, and you would have thought he was dead for sure. There's some old fella there, an old card player, and he's just sitting there silently, just catatonic.
I'd hop over the bar and
Mhm.
immediately look for a bottle of champagne and 2 clean glasses.
You find a bottle of champagne and 2 clean glasses.
I'd grab them, go over to the table with the old guy, top off the top of the champagne, fill the 2 glasses, put one in front of him, spin a chair backwards, and then sit down. And then just look at him. And get like
That's
this
very
close
cool.
to him.
That's very cool, and he's very impressed. You can see the gleam in his eye. He sort of looks down at the champagne. You've put it in front of him, and beyond it is a house of cards that he had seemingly been stacking at some point. And he looks at the champagne, and he kind of looks back at you. Well, shit, why didn't you start with that? What can I do for you?
What happened here?
More than I'd care to talk about. Let me tell you that. These people, well, the bartender and the friends who were with him, they came to our town, a few years back now. They left when the Banshee first arrived, but after a while, they thought they'd come back, try their luck. They weren't lucky, let me tell you. They weren't lucky. And I've been alone ever since.
And how did you get so lucky?
I know when to keep my mouth shut. You see, the forces of evil in this town, let me tell you something about them. You got to get along to go along. Stay out of their way. They'll leave you be. You don't seem like the sort to let things be.
I have a bad habit of not staying out of the way.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to wish you good luck, but I also think maybe if I stick around, my luck might run out.
I'd refill
I
his
might leave.
glass.
Oh, I might stay. I might stay a little longer. Okay, you convince me.
And Bartholomew will walk up, be like, "Hey, so you've been here a while. You're still here. Who do you think knew the most? I know the bartender's usually like the guy, but he looks like he needs a break." And he looks. Actually, it's my break time. Hang on a second. And sits down at the table with Jeremiah and this old man and takes out a cigar and starts chewing on it because he's not actually a human and he doesn't know what to do with it, but he's taking his break, goddammit. Okay, so who do you think knew the best? Who we got old Jack here? Like who's in the who do you know here?
Oh, Jack. Shit. Oh, Jack, he ain't been around for a while. He went into the mine there and just disappeared one day. Stopped warding people off entirely. So, I mean, hell, if you manage to find him, he might be able to tell you what's going on.
All right. Well, so maybe the bartender would know where he would be. And looks at the half dead body.
Look, I mean, if you can get him to talk.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
The bartender shifts a little bit because Dry Gulch has gone behind the bar, and anyone who sees him would see that he has a surprising number of flasks that he's just topping off from different bottles. But he also, when he finished, so he's bumped the bartender, so the bartender shifts a little bit at this moment in the conversation. And then you just hear the clink of a few coins because he's paying for his liquor. Despite don't want to get any spirits mad at me for taking my fair share of spirits. I always pay for my part of what I take. That's how the world works. Try to do it any other way. It ain't fair. Nobody gets along. And you hear the muttering as the bartender is splayed and just occasionally shuddering.
All right.
I see he gets it.
Yeah, he does get it. All right. So we're gonna see what we can do. And Bartholomew is going to go up to the bar and pull another thread. So this is my second that has gone to the storyteller. And I would like to break the law of death and bring the bartender back to life.
All right.
I'm going to be so inconvenienced by this as I'm trying to find some spare parts.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to find any spare parts. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I don't think they're spare anymore. I think he's using them now.
He's got a kidney he doesn't need.
I mean, I think I've just been so focused on this, I didn't notice anything happening around me until this moment. So there'll definitely be like a jumping back and probably just falling right on my butt as I, a little surprised by this.
Yeah, the bartender just rockets up and goes, oh, cool, blimey, my head. He hit me right in the head. Why'd you do that? I was just trying to give him a drink. What? What the hell? I'm on the bar.
You're working.
Who are you?
This guy's trying to pay for his drinks that he's getting. You see the stack of coins next to you? You were taking a long break, so I had to make sure you got back to work. You bypassed your union-regulated break time?
Didn't know I had a union.
Oh, yeah, here's the pamphlet.
Bart, did you just switch sides now with all your entrepreneutin?
Well, listen, if you're going to have union rules, you got to follow them or they take them away from you.
Yeah, we'll talk strategy another day. It's probably not the time.
Well, thank you for paying. Thank you for waking me up.
Just real quick, David, I see you, but What kind of dirty rattlesnake went and clocked you in the head when you was pouring him a drink? That seems like an awful low-down thing to do. Do you see the man in the
Yes.
bar now?
No, but Obadiah was there. Yeah, and I ain't saying shit. Why not? He fucking killed you. I ain't want to die. Ah. David.
I need to know, either above the table or in character, did Bartholomew pull out an actual Union pamphlet? Is it a random pamphlet, or is it just a piece of crumpled up paper?
Bartholomew has pulled out from one of his several pouches a piece of paper that has a bunch of words on it. He has no idea what it says, but he has handed them a pamphlet and said, "You're part of the Union now," and will hold them to that.
I love that this is like a pseudo-religious fervor for him.
Well, just
Yeah,
like I like non-consensual union membership joining. Like
That's
like,
it.
You're in it now,
the,
baby.
Yep, you're in the Union. Dues are owed on the 15th.
Is there a union? Like, I've got so many questions. Love this. Love this.
Well, if there's not a union, we're making the union. That's
one way to be
We had a
entrepreneurial.
union. Oh,
Yeah, so I'm your Union steward. My name's Bartholomew. We'll take care of you, all right? You gotta just make sure you pay your dues and don't break any of the Union rules, okay? And if anybody gives you a hard time, you call Bartholomew and I'll fix it for you. Just like we brought you back. I mean, we ended your break.
Oh, so I pay my dues. I tell you if anyone's giving me trouble, and you deal with it.
That's right. That's right.
He picks
We're
up the
not a
coins
gang,
from the
though.
glass and he hands them to you, and he says, "There, some asshole clocked me in the head."
Okay, you tell me, you draw me a picture of who he was, and we'll get him.
I ain't much of a draw. I was just dead, but I can tell you, he dressed like some kind of wizard or something.
A wizard. Okay. Everybody
Big
got
robe.
that? We're fighting a wizard.
Big rope, fluffy slippers,
Fluffy.
weird hat.
Like a pointy hat?
No, it's curved with like a cross on it.
Like the Pope? I normally don't have any problem with papists, but if they're coming in here killing innocent union member bartenders, I might have to rethink my ideas on politics and religion.
I think for legal reasons, I'm gonna say no. It didn't look like the Pope, but I understand why you went there from my description.
I mean, in terms of his vestments, not the actual Kurt.
I think
People are so
more
dang
like,
literal nowadays.
more noble. Like I ain't never seen anyone with a fluffy coat like that around these parts, or fluffy slippers. And the mace, yeah, razor wire on that thing. I tell you, hurt like the dickens.
That's definitely against Union. You can't be carrying around razor wire. Was he at least wearing safety gloves and protective glasses?
No, not in this class.
Oh,
no.
yeah. All right. And you see Bart scribbling on paper like he's taking notes.
Yeah, no, I gotta tell you, I really didn't expect to be awoken and be able to state my case so clearly and evidently in a way that just really solves a whole lot of these problems so quickly.
When Bart says the bit about the razor wire and the stick, just subtly, very, very subtly, Dragulch just pushes one of the handles a little bit lower in his pack. He's nodding his head and just pushing it down.
Brilliant.
If it turns out that it was
Obadiah.
Dragulch the whole time, I'm going to be very delighted and surprised.
I wish I set that up. Obadiah, the old man who you mistook for a corpse at first, stands up and says, "Well, I've finished my second glass, and I have no money to pay the bartender. So I am going to skedaddle.
Oh, wait.
I'm happy to have helped."
Obadiah, do you want to be part of the union?
No.
Okay. You're lost, buddy.
I can't afford it, and I'm retired.
Oh, if you're retired, you definitely need it. Who's taking care of your health care and your dental?
Oh, this fellow who gave me the champagne. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, I'm gonna go. You can finish that house of cards if you like. Yeah. You all good? Josiah, the bartender who didn't have a name because he was meant to be dead. Yeah, I'm good, Obadiah. All right. Bye now. And he moseys. And he moseys. And he moseys towards the sunset. And you are all left in this saloon with a living bartender. I should add that to my notes at some point. A house of cards where Obadiah once sat. As you look towards the house of cards, it's stacked incredibly high, and on the very top of it, you see, sitting face up, the King of Clubs, who smacks you on the shoulder and hands you a drink, Ivo, and says, "Now, let's talk about me."
Mate, ain't that what we've been doing?
Yes, but it's such a fun topic. Let's just keep doing it. Now, my theory on how to run a good Megablock. Simple. When a rival gang appears, you shoot him in the heart.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense. What about how to run like a mega block like this one?
Well, there's a lot of logistics. Biggest thing is you need to settle on an import, right? You need to find something that you can bring in that people need. And then you need to produce something that you can export that you can use to bribe people.
And what is it that people need?
Well, food, that's a big one.
Cool.
Water, that's also pretty good. Entertainment, although you can get away with that one. Yeah, mainly food and water, actually, now that I think about it. Those are the big two.
And that's your import strategy, is it? Food and water?
Food and water.
And export?
Would you believe?
Probably.
I don't know why I'm Southern now. I shouldn't be. Let me try this again. Would you believe that in this building there is a reservoir of silver?
Sure. Let's say I'll believe that.
I could barely believe it. My missus found it. She was walking around in some of the clubs. She found a little area where she found some silver. And I said to her, "We're going to be rich." And she said, "I'm going to be rich." And I said, "Okay, but we can talk this out." And she said, "All right, we'll make a deal." And so we did. And now we're both rich.
You say reservoir?
Yeah.
Just like a bunch of silver lying in a box, or what? Reservoir.
I imagine so. She's never showed it to me.
Interesting.
Trade secrets, as it were.
Right.
That's the Queen of Diamonds, by the way, for the autobiography, if you want to.
Of course.
We've got a bit of a theme going,
Yeah. And I'll write down Queen of Diamonds. ... I can't with this guy, and then close the notebook.
Yeah.
So she seems like someone to talk to learn about, to hear, another perspective on the rise of the great King of Clubs.
Oh, she could tell some stories. I'll tell you what. She can certainly tell some stories. You know who else would be good actually in your travels? Uh, we've got the Five Aces. They're great guys.
Oh, all
You'd
five of them,
love
eh?
them. Yeah, all five of them. Uh, I got to be honest with you. I didn't get that name. Didn't make sense to me. There's only four in the deck, but what do I know? I'm just the king. Uh, but also we've got the old Jack of Spades as well.
Oh
He's been
yeah.
helping out around the clubs lately as well. He's been pretty good. Uh, we've got the whole crew turning up. Then we got the Deuces, of course. The Deuces. They could tell some stories. The Deuces.
Oh yeah.
We call them that because they work in the sanitation area,
Ah,
and there's two of them.
well, that's a good list of fucks.
Yeah.
Think it might be time, Your Majesty, for me to get about my research.
Oh well. Okay. Well, you feel free, of course. Go about it, but just remember, I'm the one who's paying you. All right.
Of course.
So, if they tell you anything untoward, just
Shoot him in the
you just
heart.
skip on over
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Shoot him in the heart with a revolver. Yeah.
I'm glad we see eye to eye on this. This is good. All right. Well, you take it easy, Mr. Patterson. All right. I'll catch you later.
And you too, Your Majesty.
And he walks up the stairs.
Okay.
And he sits down, and you are sort of left to your own devices.
And I'll look at my notebook and flag, just for myself, the old Jack of Spades. And then think for a second, mutter under my breath. This music is terrible. These people are terrible. I hate it here. And I need a real drink. And I will walk to like the bathroom area of the club, somewhere just like not right in the middle of everybody, and pop out to the other world.
As the portal opens and the light flashes past you, you hear behind you, Mr. Patterson here to see the king? And you pop out. And you pop in a silent and dark mine shaft. It's easy to think that you're seeing all sorts of things in the darkness if you're not careful. The smell of lamp oil permeates the area. But more than that, you get that carbon monoxide smell coming on back. If you had a bird with you, you wouldn't.
Damn.
Over in the saloon, you all sit pondering your next move, and you see a brief flash of purple light from the mine shaft. You do recognize this as the portal between worlds being used by somebody. Some of you, the more rivalrous of you, get a sense that someone you don't like's here. But that's a problem for later. For now, what would you like to do?
Hey, Jeremiah, I heard you was Obadiah's union rep. We gotta talk about this, mate. You can't be muscling in on my territory.
It sounded to me like they were more ones the others dependent. Like Jeremiah, are you in the union? And Obadiah's retired, but you're dependent. That's why you're paying for his health care. I thought you just met, but you poured that champagne. You seem real familiar.
I'd pull out a hunting knife and tip over the house of cards. Like whatever card is on the base that looks most fragile, just give that a little tick so that they all fall down. And then,
Okay. Sorry, just to interrupt real quick. You have accidentally stumbled directly into something that I have to highlight for you. If events transpire to knock down the House of Cards, the card that was most fragile, that knocked it down, will be revealed as the Queen of Diamonds. You may proceed as you will.
I'm thinking about whether Jeremiah would notice or care. And the dice says no. And I would finish my drink, and then I would point my knife at Bartholomew and say, "Why are you looking for some dental work?"
No, I'm just saying. I got the union rep here in Silver Falls. I like it's in my contract, and he scrolls to a different part of the big piece of paper. This says that this is my work site. I'm the union steward for the area. I can't be competing with others.
Then don't compete.
I hear you, but I'm ready. I do know. You see that shit? And points at where the purple glow came from. You know he's here, right?
I put my hunting knife away, and then my hand would just settle on my revolver on my other hip. And I'd say, always when I don't want him here.
Drygold looks at Jeremiah and says, "Do you do dental work? Are you a barber? I noticed you got a very finely trimmed mustache and your hair is coiffed so delicately. I got a tooth in the back here that's been aching something terrible. If you're a qualified barber, I might need to hire you for an extraction."
Oh, Gulch, I thought my social skills were bad.
Parched Canyon, that was a threat to the robot.
Oh,
What robot? Ain't no robot here. And you see Bartholomew's like very, very broadly looking around for a robot because he's pretending to be human right now.
I would roll my eyes so hard. And then just get up, grab the bottle, and walk towards the portal. Or rather, where the portal opened and then closed.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna
That is
scoop up
towards
the
the
cards.
mine.
And as I go to follow, I'm going to take a little detour next to the piano. Just hit a few keys. Does it make any sound? Or is it destroyed?
It does. It does. Some of the keys that you, some of the ivories you tickle do in fact make some noise. Let me just. Let me just check something real quick. I can tell you exactly which notes do play.
Ooh.
The musicologist found the music notes.
G, F sharp, B, and E.
Got a higher E or a lower E?
In line with the.
ascending or descending?
Sorry, I'm just double checking. Descending. There are no spare parts on the skeletal pianist. He's all bone. I mean, arguably, you could probably turn the bone into something, but
It definitely occurred to me, but I was like, this might be a little bit too gruesome. When I hit the other notes, like if I hit other keys, is there a thunk? Is there just nothing?
there's nothing. It seems as though they have been like the mechanism just isn't operating on those anymore. Some of them are just fully stuck. On others, the hammer seems to have been snapped or broken.
Can I take a peek? Lift the lid. I imagine it's one of those like upright.
It depends how much you want to move the skeleton.
Oh, I'm not bothered at all by doing that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You look inside. Yeah. There are a series of well, you guys all just demonstrated that you understand music. The exact key that song can play in, only those keys are actually operating.
Yeah. I think she's having a moment of this feels weird and I don't know what to do about it. And she's gonna look over her corner or over her shoulder and see if Dry Gulch is still in the room or has already kind of followed the rest.
Yeah, Dry Gulch is there, and he kind of just not jumped, but just sliding half step back when the pianist fell over. And because he didn't want to get any on him, not that he's squeamish about it, but just not what he's here for. And he's kind of splitting his attention between the folks who've walked out and you.
What do you make of this? And I will kind of, if I can, arpeggiate the whole kind of chord up down.
Would Dry Gulch know music? Because I know like this much about music. I know ascending and descending, and notes have letters. But would Dry Gulch know enough about music, or would it be a song that he's familiar with as Lygia's doing this?
I am going to get you to roll creation for me.
Is that something I can be doing as I'm playing with it, or can one of us help the other? I don't know the mechanics behind that.
That's a great way to segue over to Matt real quick. Hey, Matt, how
Hello.
does it work if we would like a player to help another player?
So there isn't terribly a mechanic because whatever you roll, the intent is that you succeed at your roll, but it adds a complication. So by rolling, Dry Gulch will identify what the song is. But in doing so, the piano notes, perhaps if you roll a complication, could trigger a trap, could alert someone that we are in the area. For an abandoned town, that's going to carry pretty far, especially with open doors on a saloon.
Okay.
So, in that vein, then, if you would like to also be doing something, leader, you can pick a separate thing to also resolve while.
Yeah, I mean, I think when she came over and was playing with the piano, like Lita's made it this far by adapting and being creative with what she can find. So kind of had that skill. Is this a moment where secrecy could potentially come in? Like, is it in terms of trying to interpret into it? Is this a deliberate message?
Oh, like could you use intuition to try and intuit something?
Oh, I was looking at the skill list and I saw secrecy and I was still trying to figure out ways I could use that. But
I'm on
intuition either.
Yeah, look. Yeah, you could. You could use secrecy.
I will roll that then.
Okay. All right. First up, Dry Gulch.
I rolled a 9 on the die, plus 1 for my creation skill is a 10.
Hell yeah. This is
also
not a
have-
song you recognize from this world. This is from the other world. You've heard it. It's a much more modern song. And it's going to sound strange at first, and I don't want you to laugh. But it was the opening notes to Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
when I was a young boy, my father. And that's all I'm going to say so we don't get DMCA. But he proceeds
Yeah.
in his old timey minor voice. That must have been a really intense day for that kid to think he's going to the city with his dad to see a parade and his whole weight
What?
of the world put upon his young shoulders.
Well, and
We
how
should-
long was that parade if the dad could say that much before it ended, you know?
Well, the song itself is only what 4 or 5 minutes long at the most, but it and he's walking to the mine as he's discussing this, and he pulls his hat off, he scratches his greasy scalp, and you can see there's like a line where the dust and dirt of the world doesn't get past the brim of the hat as he does this, and he just takes his bandana and just wipes it, doesn't wipe his face, but wipes his scalp and then puts the hat back on as he's going.
Nice.
Yeah, I also
That's awesome.
had 6 plus 3 on the die plus 1 for secrecy, so that'd be a 10 trying to piece this together.
You are with that roll, man. You guys are rolling so good and reviving all the right people. With that roll, you are going to be able to figure out that this is not a purposeful hidden message. Rather, it is a sort of resonance between the two worlds. Some way, somehow, modern music was seeping its way into this world. And that is all that remained on the piano. Yes, Dry Gulch.
Instead of just walking out, as he's singing, once they've talked about it a little bit, they're still on the saloon floor. It's empty. I'm assuming there's enough space. He extends a hand to Lydia and sings the song in that old-timey voice as if asking her to dance. And just if she joins him, she knows that he's going to do like a box step kind of at a good pace to the doors of the saloon.
Oh, I don't think she can resist the invitation because there's definitely this push and pull of it. And yeah, just having a moment joining you because there are these moments that we are in sync. We get what's happening. So absolutely.
And that's lovely. And as these two are in sync, we see two people who are friends, who understand each other, who get along. And we move across to two people who do not get along. Ivo, you hear footsteps coming from the only light source at all in this mine, the mouth. As you go up to meet, you see approaching, you see Jeremiah and you see Bartholomew. And you think, oh, shit.
Well, as I move out of the mine shaft, I'll pull out my recognizing that I'm back home in some ways. Pull out my beautiful cowboy hat and stand a little bit taller than I do in the cyberpunk world and say, "Well, I figured it'd be you two. How's it going?"
Oh, yeah.
What would you?
Just like old times. You had to get here first, huh?